Hey there, killer awesome truckers. I am out here at the Swift Terminal in Phoenix, burning myself up, as you can see. The. Uh, there they are. You can see the trailers over there. Oh, so there's something that I want to talk about on this week's episode for Trucker Talk. There is a Reddit post on the r slash truckers that I saw, and it was about a new Swift driver. if Yeah, it's not me. I'm not the one who got fired. Okay, so I'm still with Swift. Still on the casual fleet, which I got some things to talk about on that one too. But this new driver, I guess he's been like a driver for like 7 days or something like that. He backed into someone's truck. I guess there wasn't any damage or anything done, or very little damage, but he did what he was supposed to do. He reported and everything, and Swift fired him. And so you've got people making comments and saying, oh, that's messed up, that's screwed up. And he's a new driver, so I don't know if he went through the academy or not. And he's trying to figure things out. But I had a chance to, I went in here and I talked with my old driver leader, and I also talked with the fleet manager who I report to for the casual fleet. And kind of, asked them some questions and stuff like that. So let's get to this Reddit post, and let's talk about it. Okay, let's take a look at this Reddit post here that I found on Truckers. It says, fired from Swift, what now? During my first week solo, I made a dumb mistake and damaged another truck at a truck stop. How much damage? That's the thing. Was it big? Was it a lot of damage? No injuries, no accident report, no tow trucks. I reported everything like I was supposed to. I do some more training required by Swift. That's that close quarters training. I've been through that before. And everything is seemingly fine. I go the rest of my time accident free. This week, I got pulled into the terminal and was fired. Now, what I'm wondering is which terminal was he pulled into? His home terminal? I hope they were able to get him home. Because if it was just any terminal and they let him go there, that is really screwed up. Anyway, he says, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do now. I barely have 2 months of experience. Most companies won't touch me with that little experience. And the ones that are willing drop me as soon as I tell them what happened at Swift. Could I get away with lying about driving with Swift? I was told by the guy that fired me that Swift doesn't report to DAC, but I don't know if that's true or not. It just feels like I'm unhireable right now. Any advice, or if anyone knows any companies that would consider hiring me, would be greatly appreciated. Now, this just seems weird, doesn't it? His first week solo, but then he says he's got 2 months worth of experience. So he's been driving for 2 months with no accidents, and then they let him go? I mean, that does seem kind of weird. Maybe there's more to the story there, like his safety points. Because if his safety points get to a certain part, they may just say, oh, well, it may have stacked up. It's just kind of weird that something like this would have happened. But some of the comments here, they fired you for reporting it to them. One person gives a suggestion as far as going to a small company. One person says, I was in the sleeper berth at the Petro in Raphine, Virginia, one night. I woke up when I heard another driver slam into my mirror. That's happened. That happened to me with a flatbedder. I got up, straightened my mirror out, realized there was no damage. I shrugged my shoulders and go back to sleep. In my case, it also pushed the mirror forward, and it actually cracked off some of the plastic casing. Other than that, that was it. And I just kind of bent it back into place and all was good. And 5 minutes later, there was a banging on his door. It's the guy who hit my mirror. And he says, hey man, I hit your mirror. Me? Yeah, no, it happens. Good night. Try to roll up my window. Guy says, hey, I got to report it to my company. Me? You don't want to do that. It will only hurt you. It's my mirror. You didn't hurt it. Forget about it. Him? But I got to report it. Me? Why? Why would you snitch on yourself like this? This is going to hurt you. Why would you report this? I'm not reporting it. If you don't report it, nobody will ever know. But it was insane. Happy ending. I convinced him not to snitch on himself, but it was amazing how eager he was to do it. Probably because he was afraid that someone else would report it, and then his company would be like, well, why didn't you report this? One person responds to that, I had a driver scratch the ever-loving crap out of the side of my trailer once. Dude was freaking out and apologizing, and I was like, bro, what scratch? It's a fleet trailer. Maybe it was there when I picked it up. Big old gouge. Yeah, you can get away with that with Swift. Big old gouge on the side of a Swift trailer. I don't know, man. It's been there the whole time. You effed up your first week. Wasn't a big deal, and then you got fired for it 7 weeks later? What else did you do? Also, what kind of damage are we talking here? Better yet, do you know the estimate Swift was given for the damage you caused? Maybe it took 7 months before the insurance came back and said how much damage was done. Maybe that's why it took 7 weeks. There's some replies to that. They likely waited 7 weeks to break even on the cost to put him on their payroll, is all. So weird, though. If someone is so bad a driver, you're going to fire them. Why would you trust them to go another 7 weeks without an accident? Swift! To try and recoup your losses. It's a gamble like everything in life. Employees are just a number. That is true. Why not keep him for even longer and milk some more profit then? The likelihood of him crashing again would go down over time. It's 2 words, over time. If you put 1 word, then that's like overtime, as in over 40 hours. So, but we know what you mean. If anything, I don't get the logic. I don't either. The reality is the insurance agency tells companies who to fire and who to keep anymore. They offer discounts for listening and threaten increases if not. So recoup the money and make insurance happy is a win-win for Swift. If you don't understand the logic, that's on you. I can't be any clearer. Someone says, have fun at the Western Express orientation. Someone's like, don't knock it. They were the company got me rolling after my 2007 firing from Swift. Someone else, they're like, I did my time with Western Express in 2020 after I got fired from Werner for some stupid stuff. I did in my 2nd month. Western Express is everything you've been told, but if you go into it with the right attitude and plenty of breathing exercises, that doesn't sound promising, it can be your ticket to getting back on the road. The person says, damn! Megas are looking for a reason to fire everyone right now because they have a huge surplus of drivers. Well, that's not what I was told. They're like begging to get me back. Oh, we need good drivers. I ain't that great of a driver. I mean, I'm not running into people's trailers and trucks and stuff, but I didn't think I was like some, over the top fantastic driver or anything like that. I mean, I just tried to do the best that I could. I mean, I'm certainly not the ideal driver, the one that just run. I mean, When I ran, I tried to do it intelligently, smartly, plan my trip and make sure I don't get myself into a situation that I can't get out of, or I wind up wasting time trying to get out of. I tried to go into it smart, rather than just run, and then, I'll deal with it when I get there. Although, there have been some times where I did. So, like, if I was offered, like, let's say something that was 2,000 miles, shoot, man, I ain't gonna, I'll just accept it. Go ahead, dispatch me. I'll figure it out when I get there. I mean, come on. With a 2,000 mile load or more, would you sit there and like study it? Or would you like, hell, man, just go ahead and assign it to me? What, pickup's in New Jersey? It's in New York? That's all right. I'll figure it out when I get there. It's like, we're talking 2,000 miles here. Hell yeah. The issue you're going to have is, regardless of DAC, the company you apply to will find out that you are fired from Swift, which is a no-go. It's not just your experience, it's the market, which is likely the reason you were fired. Yet I'm being told, we got plenty of freight right now. I have 4 years CDL driving experience. Few companies I applied for won't hire me for an accident that happened 7 years ago. Today, the market is overfilled with CDL drivers that take any job, no matter the pay. Stay away from Swift. Stay away. Starts with an S. Stay away from Superego. Okay? They will take anyone, but they will run you illegally. If you're doing lease, and a lot of the things with Superego is lease, you will not be able to make any money unless you run illegally. I watched a video about that. It was a really good video. This guy refused to run illegally, and Superego was like, well, everyone else does it, why can't you? Basically is what they said. And he's like, because I have standards. I'm following the rule. And they were like offering to reset his logs, put in a ghost driver. But you know what? On the flip side of that, there is a driver who wound up in an accident, and they looked at his logs and found like a ghost driver and all this other stuff. Do you think Superego was like, that's our bad? No, they didn't. They're like, shame. You shouldn't have done it. You knew it was wrong. Don't go to Superego. And if there is a company in Illinois, stay away from them. Not that I have experience, but I do I do watch a lot of different videos of trucking. Even though I'm not really doing a lot of trucking, it still interests me. So I do watch a lot of different videos. I read people's comments, and a lot of people are saying the ones out of Illinois are bad. Stay away from them. Now, maybe an exception to that might be Swift. There is a Swift terminal in Illinois. Well, there's one in Illinois, and there's one in Indiana, Gary, Indiana. So that's like real close to Chicago. They don't really have academies there, but you could probably go there, to get paperwork started, and then you would go to one that's got an academy. But a lot of these foreign companies, you might be best to stay away from them. But really, really, really do your research, okay? I know you might be desperate to get back on the road, but do it smartly, okay? I don't want you to get into a situation to where you're out on the road and you're like, what was I thinking? Or you're out on the road and now you're stranded somewhere and you can't get home. Just going and signing anything with any type of company, you gotta, please do your research. Do your research, okay? Ouch. Same thing happened to me in 2007 after a year and a half there. Too many small incidents and finally a sleep-induced rollover Well, that's going to get you canned. That is an instant fire right there. If you roll over or you jackknife, those are instant fire. Hit a bridge. From what I understand, those are the 3 big no-nos. I think there are 2 others. I think there's 5. Probably another big no-no is if they catch you with your phone while you're driving, although they do not have internal cameras. And from what I've told, Swift will never have internal cameras because apparently they had a lawsuit about it. And so they're not even going there anymore. So I know some people will be like, why would you want to drive for Swift? Well, there you go. There's one reason. Because they don't have inward-facing cameras and never will. No, the money may not be the greatest, but sometimes the money isn't everything. He says, but once that 3 years went by, there were at least... He says, couple that with the infamous 2008 bust and no company of decent standing would touch me. Between October 2007 and 2010, I was doing a bit of security guard work. And that's interesting because I've got a guard card. And also got in 6 months of container 1099 hauling with some fly-by-night company. But once that 3 years went by, there were at least a few companies out there ready to forgive. Western Express got me back in the saddle. And I've been trucking hiccup-free since. Here's another thing. You may be accident-free, as in you didn't cause it, but someone else hits your trailer, and then you get fired because of it. I mean, who knows about the other one, but the company's like, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, we got to let you go. I mean, they may not exactly say that, but that's happened. That's happened to some of the drivers out there. Someone hits them, and the company just, you're just too much of a liability. It's like, what did I do? Heck, lawyers are doing that to truckers that don't do anything wrong. Ask Werner. You all know about that winter situation where someone without a driver's license was failing to keep control of their car, and they went over the median. Werner trucker wasn't doing anything wrong. He was doing exactly what he was supposed to do. He wasn't speeding, and he wound up ramming into that car, and it killed everyone but the driver, or killed everyone in the car. I don't remember which, but the family sued Werner, sued the driver, and they won. And their point was, well, the driver shouldn't have been there. What the hell? So, if that's happening, then there are companies out there that are firing drivers for things that weren't even their fault. It's devastating, but you'll just have to occupy yourself with other duties during a 3-year lull period. Again, I've been there and done that same exact mess. I take my rest seriously, and if a dispatcher has a problem with me taking a mid-trip snoozer, it's easier to get another job after an insubordination firing as opposed to an accident firing. You'll be okay, just hold steady. Never rat on your friends. Always keep your mouth shut. Another, that's what I learned also. Anything happens near me or on the trailer I have and it's nothing major, I always say, I didn't see it, or I wasn't here, or something else. Your boss is going to treat you like crap. You might as well send him back to Lyft. Try a Class B job if you live in a major city. Another, garbage is always hiring. I drive Ready Mix and they start off at $40. $40 an hour. I love it. I'd never go over the road again. Someone's like, that's insane. My local place only pays $18 to $21 an hour. I have heard that being a garbage truck driver actually does pay really well, and they do get good benefits. I don't know. It's not the kind of ideal job that I would want to drive, but you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. If the pay is really good and you got some excellent benefits, that might be something that's worth doing. You might want to look into that. Someone's like, oh man, this happened to me today. I hope I'm not fired. Try Western Express. They hire just about anybody. If the police didn't come out to the accident, then don't say it happened because it's likely not on your motor vehicle record. It doesn't sound like it was much to make a fuss about anyway. Rookies hit things at truck stops every day. My kiddo did the same thing and got terminated 2 months into his solo OTR employment at Swift. He got hired at another mega who runs orange trailers. Schneider. Interesting. So it takes, you have an accident and it takes like a couple of months before they, I guess, insurance settles in and they say we're not going to do that. I mean, I've had a few scuffles, nothing major, but I don't know. I guess they could have let me go if they wanted to. Rule number 24, the Super Trucker Code. This reminds me of the rules of acquisition from the Ferengi. If there is no damage, keep your mouth shut about it. Rule number 25 of the Super Trucker Code. If there is minor damage, keep your mouth shut about it and fix it yourself. I swear, this is the rules of acquisition from the Ferengi right here. It sounds like something that would be in their book. This PSA brought to you by the #1 ranked Super Trucker. Lord Cobweb. You sure you want to name yourself a Super Trucker? Anyways, a friend of mine did a U-turn where he shouldn't have, messed up the side of a building, wall cracked and ripped gutters off. At first he was fine, but they later fired him when they got the estimate for repairs. You see, now I wonder if that's what happened. Guy was fine, and then 2 months later they got how much the damage was going to be, and they just let him go. Pretty crappy company hired him as a lease driver, meaning he had to pay the truck payments while making less than company drivers when driving more miles. Man, those lease purchases are like scams. There's a very small percentage of people out there that are able to make it successful, but only a small percentage. So there's quite a few responses to this. You can see this here. So if you want to look into this a little bit more, in the description section will be a link to this Reddit post, and you can take a look at it. Okay, so there you go. Now, what that post doesn't say is how many points did he have on his safety score. There's a lot more factors in there. My old driver leader, he had said that, if there's a driver that, he doesn't like, and not really in such a personal way, but let's say they're lazy or they just don't have a good work ethic. I mean, I think 7 days is not enough to really judge someone, but I mean, there may have been more that was going on with that driver, but then again, I think another thing was that if someone gets into an accident within their first week, they just decide to let them go. I think it may depend on the driver leader. Now, I thought maybe it might be insurance reasons, because I've asked that. Because sometimes insurance will say, we're not going to cover this driver, and then the company has to let that driver go, because if they're not going to be covered by insurance, well, that's just how it is. I wonder if my badge is still going to work on the driver's lounge. Nope. Yeah, you have to use it like every 3 months or it goes inactive. So there's a place that I can check into here and get it reactivated. I'll worry about that later. So they're telling me that loads are picking up. It's just kind of weird because with all the videos and things that I've been reading, loads have not been picking up, and they are desperate to get me back. I'm not that good. Come on. I'm not that good of a driver. But I don't know. They're like really wanting me to come back, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm kind of good with the casual the casual account right now. But obviously, I'm not against coming back. It's just not right now. That's why I want to stick with the casual fleet. But there's a chance that I might be able to get a load, you know, for a day or two next week. So they've got more stuff than what they did these past few months. So there's more options. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens. I'm just over here kind of walking over here by the trucks and stuff. Also getting a little bit of exercise too. Another thing they were saying was that they're like, dude, man, you've gained like 20 pounds since you got off the truck. And I'm like, I don't know why. I don't know why. Because I mean, I'm doing walks. I'm not eating the same as I was on the truck. You know, there was like chips and pretzels and soda. And I'm not even doing that. And yet here I am gaining weight. I'm actually retaining water is what's happening. And I have to wear compression socks because of it. So yeah, I'm trying to get that under control. You may notice that my eye is closed, and that's because it's a little sore. So I just have it closed for the moment. Yeah, but anyway, I just thought this would make a good video in regards to that Reddit post that I saw. That way we can kind of talk about it. I don't think it's anything to do with Swift. I think it depends upon the driver leader. Plus, there's probably more going on there than what's being said. And I guess it depends on the kind of accident it was too. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. And also too, I was told that the loads are looking good on the west and the east. Is that true? Is that your experience? Because some of you have been leaving comments saying I ain't making much money. So I don't know. They might be desperate to get me back, but I don't know what kind of loads they've got. There. I got my eye back open again after it's been watered down. But yeah, let me know in the comments how things are going. Are they picking up? Well, let me know. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see you on another video. Have a killer awesome day.